Okay, so let's continue with the TestNG concept. Now look here, look at the screen. So we are going to discuss a very important concept today. Okay, so that is nothing but verification. One second. Look here. Look here. Oh. Shit. You can all see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, as I told you in the beginning, okay, listen. As I told you in the beginning of the classes, when you open the browser, enter the URL, click on login, we need to do verification. We need to verify whether it is going to the home page of the application or not. You remember that? I told you in the beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? I've told you in the beginning of the classes, when you open the browser, enter the URL, you need to verify whether it is going to the home page of an application or not. You need to verify. Now, you are doing, how did you verify in the beginning of the class? You verified if the condition is true, this block will get executed, else this block will get executed. Correct? If condition is true, if block will get executed, else the other part of the block will get executed. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? So that is what we used to do. But here we have an option to do verification using a concept called as assertion. Okay, we are going to do verification using a concept called assertions. So we don't do using if else condition. Okay, we don't do using what? If else condition. We always do verification using a assertion concept. So basically assertions are used for verification purpose. Understood? For what purpose we use assertions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the purpose of using assertions. Now, look at the screen, guys. Look at the screen. We are going to do verification with the help of assertions. Now, in this, we have two types. Understand the theory. Practical is very simple. Understand the theory. We have two types. One is assert and one more is soft assert. One is assert and one more is soft assert. Assert is also called as a hard assert. Assert is also called as a hard assert. Okay, so the assert, it is called as soft assert. Let us try how the execution takes place. Very simple. Look here. Annotation before method. We have written the program to open the application. Annotation test method. We have written the program for the performing the actions. Annotation after method, we have written the program to close the application. Correct, right? Now look at this. Look at this. In annotation test method, there is some error. There is one small error. There is one error. Other lines of the program is correct. Okay. There is one small error, but other lines of the program is correct. Now, tell me guys, will it execute? There's an error. Will it execute or will it stop it? Will it throw the exception?
Throw the exception.
Throw the exception.
Throw the exception because there is a error. But other lines of the code is correct. No. Will it execute the other lines of the code?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Will it execute? No. There's an error. If there is an error, it will not execute the remaining lines of the code if it is correct also. Look at the screen, it is correct, 100% it is correct. But it will not execute the other lines of the code as well. Now, it will jumps to the after method and after method will get executed. What it does?
Jumps to after method.
Jumps to annotation after method, it will get executed. So let me repeat again. If there is any error in this, if there is any error, it will not execute the other lines. If it is perfectly right, also what? It will not execute the other lines of test method. It executes the after method. What is the program you have written in after method to close the application? This will execute, but the other lines of the program will not get executed. Understood? Understood the theory?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Same thing. This is just a verification. So let me go to, what is your project? Test NG, test case number 1. Okay, now look here, the same program. Yesterday, you remember, right? We wrote this program. Did you all try? Did you all try and did you execute multiple test cases at the same time using XML file?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I see many people thinking in a group that they have some issue with TestNG, some programs has gone, something you guys have texted. Whatever issue you guys have with the TestNG, we will resolve it today. Okay, we will resolve it today. Okay, look here, guys. Now, look here. Same program. This is to enter, open the Facebook application, enter username, password, click on login. Now I need to verify. I need to write the verification statement. How do I write? Assert equals to assert equals to. This is accepting two parameters. This is accepting what? Two parameters. One is actual and one is expected. One is actual, one is expected. Actual title is stored in the reference variable called titles. Here, driver.get title. It is stored in the variable called as title. Expected. Is actual title and expected titles are matching?
No, ma'am.
No. Also no, actual and expected title is not matching. Now, tell me, there is an error in line number 33. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Line
ma'am.
number 33.
Yes, ma'am.
But what about line number 35, 36, 37? Is your code is correct or it is wrong?
Correct.
It is correct. Your code is what? Correct.
Correct.
Yes, correct. Right? Now what happens? There is a error in the program. Because of this, other lines of the program will not get executed. Other lines of the program will not get executed, but after method will get executed. That is closing of the application. Observe the execution. Observe the.
Ma'am, please repeat once, ma'am.
It is opening the browser, enters the URL of the application. It has entered username, password. It has clicked on login. Did you observe the application got closed?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
observe the
Yes,
application
ma'am.
has got closed?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
is it printing the title? Because line number 35, 36, 37 is right. Is it printing the title or URL?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
It is not printing the title. It is not printing the title or URL. So you got one exception. What is that exception? Assertion error. See, java.lang.assertion error. See, what is expected? Expected is what? Facebook login or sign in, but found is what? Something. So when actual and expected result are not matching, you'll get this assertion error. Okay, go now, go backside, copy down in the part of the exception. Assertion error. Make a note, assertion error. Assertion error.
Ma'am, we need to write it in the Java column or the Selenium column, ma'am.
Wait a minute. This is Java exception. This is Java exception.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I asked, ma'am.
This is Java. No, there only it is there. What to ask? It is there only. It is the name Java exception. Okay, make a note. Make a note. If actual and expected titles are not matching, factual and expected if actual and expected titles are not matching, if actual and expected titles are not matching, if actual and expected titles are not matching, you get assertion error. You get assertion error. Finished writing?
Yes, ma'am.
Finished copying? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all understood? This is just a verification statement. This is what? Just a verification statement. If actual and expected titles are not matching, the error. Okay, understood this assert?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood this assert?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes.
let's see how the soft assert is going to work. Now, understand the theory. Practical is very easy. Annotation before method. We have written the program to open the application. Annotation test method. We have written the program to perform the operation. Annotation after method to close the application. Now, there is a error. There is a error in this. But other lines of the code is correct. There is an error, but other lines of the code is correct. Now, how the soft assert works? Look here. If there is a error also, other lines of the program will get executed. Understanding what happens in assert here? If there is an error, other lines of the code did not get executed. But here, if there is an error also, all the lines of the code will get executed. At the end of the program, it will tell where exactly is the mistake. At the end, it will tell where exactly is the mistake. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Let me repeat again. If there is an error also, it will execute the other lines of the code. But the end of the program, it will tell you where is the mistake is. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, look here. So instead of assert, I'm going to make use of soft assert. Soft assert is equals to new soft assert a dot assert equals to actual. It is stored in the reference variable called title, and expected is this. Now tell me, is actual and expected titles are matching?
No, ma'am.
Is
No, ma'am.
actual and
No.
expected titles
No,
matching?
ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
There is an error in line number 36. Yes or no? Is there is an error in line number 36?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that okay? But still line number 38, 39, 40 will get executed. There's an error also, but line number 38, 39, 40 will get executed because of assert all method. Because of assert all method. Assert all is a method which is present inside the soft assert class. Okay, assert all is a method which is present inside the soft assert class. Because of this assert all method, so this method is not there in this hard assert. This is not there. It is there only in soft assert. Because of this method, assert all the programs which is there, it will get executed. Now, let me run the program. Let me run the program. See, if there is error also, all the lines of the program will get executed. Look at the execution. Okay, now the execution has been completed. Execution has been completed. 100% your test case is failed because there's an error. But look at your console. Is it printing title and URL?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Okay. If there is error also, line number 36 error is there. But still, line number 38, 39, 40 got executed because of assert all method. Understood? Assertion. This is just a verification statement which we are going to use it in our program. Understood?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
meant to call that
Yes,
the good code, but at the end we need to provide that assert all method.
Yes. Assert all method should be provided at the end of all the lines. Okay. If you don't provide assert all, then it will behave something like your assert only. It doesn't work like soft assert method. It works like assert method. Understood, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
DKD, very important, very easy. Nothing is there, but it is very important. It's a default difference that they want to ask in all the interviews. Make a note. Assertions. Assertions. Assertions are used for verification purpose. Assertions are used for verification purpose. Assertions are used for verification purpose. Next question. How do you perform? How do you perform verification in test NG? How do you perform? How do you perform verification in test NG? Or the same, one more question. How do you compare? First question is what? How do you perform verification in test NG? Or how do you compare expected and actual result in test NG? Or how do you compare? How do you compare actual and expected result in test NG? Answer: by using assert class. By using assert class. By using, answer is what? By using assert class. By using assert class. Next. If comparison fails, if comparison fails, if comparison fails, execute. If comparison fails, assert will not execute. Fails, assert will not execute. The remaining statement of current test method. If the comparison fails, assert will not execute. If the comparison fails, assert will not execute. The remaining statements of current test method.
Repeat, ma'am, one second.
Next. In order to continue the execution of current test method, even if okay, finished copying. Finished copying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Make a note. 100 stars you make a note. It is very, very important and default question. Difference between default question. It is wherever you go, it's a default question. Assert and soft assert. Difference between assert and soft assert. All the methods non-static. It will not execute remaining statement of current test method if comparison fails. It will execute the remaining statement of current test method even if comparison fails. We do not use assert all here, but here we must call assert all at the end. Okay, very, very important. Learn. It's a default interview question. It's a default interview question. Learn this. Finished?
Ma'am, you have not sent the slot for tomorrow's interview.
I'll send after the class. She has sent an email, but I forgot to share. I'll share it after the class. At 6:30, I'll share. Okay, done? Done. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Done.
What is their first difference? All the methods are static. That's the reason I'm calling class name dot method name. Correct, right? How do you call static method? Class name dot method name. That is the reason I'm calling assert dot assert equals to. Correct, right? So how do you call non-static methods? By creating an object. Understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Finished.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, now tell me, 100%, if I run this program, there is a failure, correct, right? If I run this program, there's a failure, yes or no? If I run this program, it is failure, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. It is 100% this failure. Make a heading. Steps to rerun the fail. No, make a heading. Steps to rerun the failed test cases. Steps to rerun the failed test cases. Rerun the failed test cases. Now look at here, guys. There are 100 test cases. How many? 100 test cases. The time taken to execute this 100 test cases is 10 minutes. So when I execute this 100 test cases, out of 100 test cases, 20 test cases are failing. 20 test cases got failed. Whenever I run, only 20 test cases are getting failed. Remaining all other 10 test cases, remaining all 180 test cases are passing. Now you tell me, you will go correct this. You will go and correct this. After correction also, will you go and execute 100 test cases again and again? Will you go
No, ma'am.
execute?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now what I will do? I will correct whatever the error is there. I will correct. I'll rerun the failed test case. That's what I will do. I rerun only the failed test cases. Understood?
Yes.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Look, okay. Now look at here. Look at here. Now there are 3 test cases. Yesterday we wrote 3 test cases, right? So out of that, 100% the first test case will fail because it is not actual and expected results are not matching. 100% the first test case will fail. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
100% first test case will fail. Now tell me, how do I rerun all the test cases sequentially? Tell me the steps to run the sequentially execution.
Select
How do you do
Select all the test cases.
Right.
Then click right click.
Refresh. Refresh. Convert to test engine.
Convert to test.
Convert to test engine.
To test engine.
next?
Click on .xml and
Click on next. Click run button.
Okay. Now look here, look here. So there are 3 test cases. Out of 3, 1 test case will fail. Right. Shh. There are 3 test cases. Out of that, 1 test case will fail. Look at the execution. So test case number 1, execution over. Now test case number 2. Test case number 2 got executed. Now the test case number 3 is getting executed. Okay, execution is over. But out of 3 test cases, how many pass, how many fail?
1 failed, 2 pass.
test cases pass.
Wait, let it complete. Let it complete. See here. Look at the result. Number of test cases ran is 3. Out of that, 2 test cases were passed, 1 got failed. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Why that got failed?
Yes, ma'am.
Because of assertion. Because of assertion. Make a note. Make a note. Make it. Once after execution is done, we will get to know the which test case has been failed. Once after execution is completed, we'll get to know the which test case is been failed. Once after execution is done, we'll get to know the which test case has been failed. Now, correct the error. Now you look here, I'm correcting the error. Correct the error means whatever you got because of what it failed. Correct the error. Correct the error. Correct the error. Okay. Now, expand test output folder. Expand test output folder. Expand test output folder. Expand test output folder. Are you able to see testng failed XML?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
able to see testng failed
Yes, ma'am.
XML? Click on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Click on testng failed XML. Click on testng failed XML. Now run this. That's all. Understood? So whichever test case get failed, this will be created and rerun the failed test cases. Understood how to rerun the failed test cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
First, correct the mistake. Correct the mistakes, expand it and run it. Now, look at the output. Is your test case has been passed? Is your test case has been passed?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been passed.
Passed.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So once you get the error, look here. Once if you get the error, go correct the error. Correct the error. Expand test output folder. Then click on testng failed XML. Run it. So this is how we are going to rerun the failed test case. Understood the steps?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now make a ding parallel execution. Make a heading parallel execution. Before that, let me give you 5 minutes of time. Do this assert and soft assert in your program. Write this assert and soft assert. You can also copy in your notebook the syntax. This is for assert. This is for a soft assert. Syntax. You can copy down. This is for your soft assert. And this is for your assert. This is just a verification. Instead of using if else statement, we just use this statement for comparison, whether it is landing to the right page or not. Okay, copy this.
Ma'am, hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am,
yes, yes.
for tomorrow's mock, interview, if they ask any topics after this, what to answer, ma'am? Because you told
Padma?
only for. Ma'am,
Padma,
tomorrow if
Priya.
they ask any, yeah.
Later, you do this. Later, that way. Somebody asked, how if test case is more than 1, 10, 15, 20, it is the same fashion. Not only one test cases, it is n number of test cases, it is same fashion. Guys, done? Done? Completed? Guys, completed.
Not yet, ma'am. 2 minutes.
No, ma'am.
2 more minutes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, getting test NG exception. Ma'am.
Testing. When actual and expected result is not matching, you'll get a test NG exception. Okay.
Driver.close we are not writing if we write assert all.
We are writing no driver clause. We have written no driver.close after method. After method we have written. Got it? Clear? Shweta, you need to click on shift down key to select all the test cases. Finished?
Finished, ma'am.
Okay. Now stop it. Do this. Make a heading parallel execution. Make a heading. Last concept of your test is G, parallel execution. Tell me, guys. Parallel execution.
Same time execution.
What do you mean by parallel execution, guys?
Executing the
parallel
test
execution?
Concurrent
execution simultaneously at a time.
Okay. Next, what else?
Execute more than one test cases.
What else? Okay. Next.
execution concurrently.
Okay. Next.
All test cases executing at a time.
Okay. Stop it. Listen. What is a parallel execution? Running it parallelly. Correct, right? So yesterday we saw sequentially, one after then another. Today we'll let us learn parallelly. Very easy. Nothing is there. Make a heading, parallel execution. To run same scripts on multiple browser, we use parameters. And in order to run at the same time, okay, we use parallel option provided by TestNG. Copy this. Copy this. Copy this. Finished copying? Finished copying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, done?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, look here. How do you write? Nothing is there. So we can achieve parallel execution with the help of, yesterday we studied some annotations, right? There is one more annotation called annotation parameter. With the help of annotation parameter, we are going to make use of this parallel execution. Very simple. Nothing is there. Just look at the screen. Now, how to do this parallel execution? Just concentrate. Don't do anything. I'll give you time. Let me create a class. Parallel. Okay. You can create whatever name you want. You can create. I just create one class called parallel execution. Now, I'll write annotation test method. Public void demo. Let me import annotation test from TestNG annotation. Okay. Now I'm going to just write one program. I'll just pass one parameter. Called string browser. I'll just pass a parameter called browser. Now I'll write one condition. If browser dot equals to Chrome, I'll write it as, let me declare this globally, public web driver. So I will write driver equals to new Chrome driver. Okay, driver is equals to new Chrome driver. Else driver equals to new Firefox driver. Okay, driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Driver is equal to Firefox driver. Remaining and all is same. Tell me the code. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Same program. Driver dot get all these things. Driver dot get. Let me go and enter the URL. Let me go and enter the URL. Remaining lines of the code remains same. Driver dot manage dot implicitly wait for 10 seconds. Time unit dot seconds. Time unit dot seconds. Now what I will do, I'll just go and copy this other line of the code from here. Okay, I'll just copy this and I'll just paste this. Okay, this will enter the username, password, click on login, get the title. Let me print the title. Title, comma, true. Driver dot get current URL. Let me store it inside one reference variable. The return type of this is URL. Let me print this URL, comma. Okay, now tell me, this program you guys know or you don't know? This program, you guys, everybody know this program?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody know this program?
Yes, ma'am.
Any logic is there? Any logic or any difficult something we have written here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Nothing. Everybody know this program, yes or no? Everybody know this program here. Any difficulty?
No, ma'am.
Any difficulties? No. Everybody know this. Correct, right? There is no logic. There is no logic. Everybody know this program. Correct, right? Now, on top of this annotation test method, where I'm going to write, and top of this annotation test method, I am going to use one annotation called as annotation parameter. I'm going to use annotation parameter. Remember, everything should be imported from testng.xml file only. Okay, it should be imported from where? testng.xml file. Okay, annotation parameters. So here you pass one thing, some parameter. Now tell me guys, you have studied a concept called methods with parameter, right, in Java? Is any rules that parameter name should be something, or you can give any parameter name? In Java, you have studied methods with any name, correct, right? Any name. You give it also any name. You can give your name also. You can give any name. Okay, understood till here? Understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Write a program.
Yes, ma'am.
Write a program. Write a program quickly. Don't waste time. Write a program fast. I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Complete this. Write it till here. Right. Don't run the program. Right. Still it is not completed. Write till here.
Scroll down, ma'am. Can you scroll down?
Guys, done? Completed? Done? Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody is telling no, somebody is telling yes.
Completed, ma'am.
Completed? Okay. Now, make a note of the steps. Now, I need to convert this class into testng.xml. What I want to do? I want to convert this class into what? Testng.xml. Convert into file. How do you convert this into XML file? XML. Everybody
Your
stop.
voice-
Look at my screen. Convert into testng.xml file. Convert it. How do you convert?
Right click.
Hey, no. It is not breaking. It shows 100. Is my voice clear? Others?
Before now it is clear. ma'am.
Yes, it is clear because it is shown for me also 100%. Tell me. Convert this into testng.xml file. Tell me, how do you convert? Tell me the conversion.
Right
Convert
click.
this class into testng.xml file.
Select the
Right
test.
Play.
Just try to run.
Select the file. Testng
Test-
convert to testng.
testng. Convert it to testng. Convert into testng. Then click on what? Testng.xml. Click on testng.xml. Now you are writing the code here. You're writing the logic of the program over here. Are you understanding? You're going to write the logic over here because everybody understand. Very simple. Nothing is there. Understand. This is called as the schema. This is called as a schema. Line number 1, line number 2 is called schema. Schema means what? Schema means template. So you will write your manual test cases, right, inside a template. So schema means a template. Okay. This is called as suite file. People will call suite, or some people will call suite. So this is called as a suite file. What is this? This is called as the suite file. Okay. Now, there is one test block. This is called as a test block. This is called as what? Test block. Now, there is an option called thread count is equals to 5. Thread means it's an operation. Thread means what? Thread means operation. That means you can perform only 5 operations at a time. Okay. You can perform what? You can perform only 5 operations at a time. That means you can run parallelly 5 browsers at a time. Okay. You can run parallelly 5 browsers at a time. Are you understanding? We can run 5 browsers at a time parallelly. Okay. You cannot run more than 5 browsers at a time. We can run only 5 browsers at a time. Okay. So name is equals to one name they are given, test. Everybody is clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody is clear
Yes,
till
ma'am.
here?
Ma'am, can you
Super. Now, look here. Now, let us write the logic over here. So, there is a tag called parameter. Parameter is a tag. There is a tag called parameter, which accepts 2 attributes. Shh. There is a tag called parameter, which accepts 2 parameter. Okay. Tag is parameter, which accepts 2 parameter. What is that? One is name and one more is value. One is name, one more is value. So, okay. There is a tag called parameter, which accepts 2 attributes. One is name attribute, one is value attribute. Name. What to give the name? Whatever you have given here. See here, whatever name you have given, you can give your name also. Whatever name you have given, same name you need to give it over here as well. It is case sensitive. You need to give a same name here. Value, nothing but crow. Value is nothing but crow. Let me repeat. So you have to write a tag called parameter, which accepts 2 parameters. One is name and value. Name is nothing but whatever you have given, same name you should give it here. Value is nothing but the browser name which you wanted to run. Understood? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Please
Yes?
repeat.
Ma'am.
Okay. Now, next, I need to run the program. Correct, right? If I wanted to run this program, how do I run this program? I'm going to use a tag called classes. Classes. Inside this, I'm going to write the class name. Class name. Which class you wanted to execute? This is, you have to give fully qualified path. What do you mean by fully qualified path? It is package name and class name. It is package name dot class name. So what is a package name? TestNG is my package name. TestNG dot. What is my class name? My class name is parallel. So whatever you guys have given, you give the same name. This is package name dot class name. What is your package name? You give. Your class name you give. Understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood? That's all. Okay. Now look here. Copy this. This is one test block. Look here. Copy this. One test block. Paste it again. Copy, paste it. That's all. Copy, paste it. Name this as test block number 1. Name this as test block number 2. I want to run the, just change the value. Just change the value. Again, copy, paste one more test block. Name it as 3. Okay. So I want to run 2 Chrome browser, 1 Firefox browser. Just copy paste it. Understood? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, look here. I want to run 2 Chrome browser. I want to run 2 Chrome browser, 1 Firefox browser. 1 Firefox browser. Now, you need to write a keyword called parallel. If you don't write parallel, it will not execute in parallel. Parallel. What do you want to run parallel? The test blocks. Parallel. What is spelling of parallel? P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. Yes. Okay. So you need to run the test blocks parallel. You need to specify this word. Now run it. Now you see 2 Chrome browser, 1 Firefox browser will launch parallelly. See the execution. Are you able to see? Are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at the screen. Look here, look here. 2 Chrome browser, 1 Firefox browser. Is it launching? But compared to your Chrome, Firefox browser is bit slow. Compared to your Chrome, Firefox browser is bit slow. See, your Firefox browser is still executing. Chrome got finished, execution got over in Chrome, but still your Firefox browser is bit slow when it is. So your Firefox browser is bit slow when it is compared to your Chrome browser. Still execution is taking place. Let it execute. Execution is done. See, did you see this? Is it executed 2 Chrome browser, 1 Firefox browser?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see the execution 2 Chrome browser, 1 Firefox browser? Make a note. Make a note. Once after writing the program, once after writing the program, convert into testng.xml file. Convert into testng.xml file. Convert into testng.xml file. Once after execution, convert into testng.xml file and run the program. Copy down this. Copy down this. Copy this. This is called as fully qualified path. Package name. Your package name you should give. It is case sensitive. Dot class name. Don't write mine only. Package name dot class name. Copy this and execute. You also convert into XML file, run it. Copy down this.
What is parallel equal to test in first line?
Now you have 3 test blocks, correct? Right? 1 test block, 2 test blocks you have. You need to run it parallelly. So you need to specify. If you don't specify this, it will run sequential execution, one after another. So you need to write parallel is equals to test. Test is nothing but test blocks.
Okay, ma'am. We can give any name for instead of test.
You should give it your tests only. You should, because this is indicate test block. This name you can give anything. Instead of test 1, test 2, test 3, you can give any name here. But there you should write test only, because this tag is a test block. This is a test block. No, you should give test only there.
Ma'am, parallel is a keyword or what here?
Parallel is an attribute. See, your XML is similar to your HTML. Suite is a tag name. Name is equal to suite. This is an attribute. This is an attribute.
I have confusion why we have to write that. Parallel is equal to test.
This is called as test block. One test block. This is test block. Parallel means we are telling run this test blocks parallelly. If you don't write it, it will run. You don't write this, run the program. It will execute sequentially. Run that program without using parallel test. You see, it will execute sequentially, one after another. When you write parallel is equal test block, it will execute one parallel. Copy this, run it. Run the program.
Can we run two different test cases parallel? We run two different test cases parallelly.
What is your question? Can we run two different? No. That is different. That's an advanced concept. It's distributed parallel you're talking. That also you can do. That also you can do.
Okay.
That is distributed parallel. This is called compatibility parallel. So you're testing same test cases in different browsers.
Okay. I know nobody.
It's done, executed, over. Done, over, completed.
Yes.
Guys, completed, execution, done. If you guys don't have a Firefox browser, you can run it in Chrome only. Okay, if you don't have Firefox browser, you can run it in Chrome. Stop writing. Stop writing. Everybody listen. Stop writing. Everybody listen. Let's have a complete revision, quick revision of complete test-ng. Okay. Have you all completed? Have you all completed?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Okay. Now look at my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
My screen. We are going to do complete revision of test-ng. Look at the screen. Test-ng. People attending a drive. Listen, I'm explaining complete test-ng. Understand? So revision for you all. Test-ng stands for test next generation. Test-ng stands for test next generation. Basically, it is a unit testing tool used by the developer. Basically, it is a unit testing tool used by the developer. As a test engineer, I am using this tool because it has lot of advantages. What are the advantages? First, we need to download and install this tool. Next, we spoke about how do we give the priority to the test cases. How to give priority to the test cases. Next, what is the use of invocation count? We have advantage. Then we can skip the test cases. We can generate the report automatically. We can generate the report automatically. we can do the sequential execution, that is one after the one. We can do sequential execution. Next, we can do parallel execution. Next, we can rerun the failed test cases. Then we can do we can rerun the failed test cases. Then we can use assertions for verification, and we have studied about annotations. So these are all the what advantages of using TestNG. Now, how do we download install TestNG? You need to know about this also, because I want to ask you the steps also in interviews. How do you download install TestNG? So, priority. It is nothing but giving the importance to the test cases. Giving what? Importance to the test cases. Right? So by default, your priority would be 0. By default, the priority would be 0. If two test cases are having the same priority, it will execute based on the alphabetical order. If two test cases are having same priority, the execution takes place based on what? Alphabetical order. If you want to run multiple test cases at the same time, we can go with invocation count. By default, the invocation count is what? 1. We cannot give negative integers or zeros to this invocation count. If you want to skip the test cases, we are going to write enabled is equals to false to skip off the test case. Next, how to generate the report automatically? Once the execution is completed, once after the execution is done, we need to refresh the page. Once after we refresh the project, we need to refresh the project. Once after refresh the project, test output folder will be created. Okay, expand test output folder. You will get emailable reporter.html. Right click, open with web browser. Right click, open with web browser. We can generate the report. Next, sequential execution. Running the test case sequentially, one after another, we are going to use sequential execution. Select all the test cases, whichever you wanted to run. Select all the test cases. Right click, convert into, testng.xml file. Right click, convert into testng.xml file and run the testng.xml file. Your program will get executed sequentially one after the another. Next, parallel execution. We are going to do this parallel execution with the help of annotation parameter. So, we write a program, convert into testng.xml file, and with the help of a tag called parameter, which accepts two values, two attributes. One is name and one is value. So I'm going to specify the name, which is same as whatever we have passed in the parameter. Value, we're going to give it as the browser name, and we are going to do the parallel execution. How to rerun the failed test cases? We are going to do the execution. The test cases which are got failed, we are going to correct the mistakes and expand test output folder. Then we are going to click on testng.failed failed XML file. Okay, this will execute, rerun the failed test cases. This will execute the failed test cases. Next. Next comes to your assertion. Are you understanding? Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next comes to your assertion. Now look, assertions are used for verification purpose. Default question, guys. Difference between assert and soft assert. Okay, assert are used for what? Verification purpose. Difference between assert and soft assert. Here all the methods are static. Here all the methods are non-static. Here by default, you're not required. Don't need to call assert all method, but here it is mandatory. It is must or mandatory. You need to call this assert all method. If the compare, it will not execute remaining statement of the current test method if the comparison fails. But here it will execute the remaining statements of the current test method even if the comparison fails. We use annotation for the controlled execution flow. For the controlled execution of the program, we use this annotations. They will ask you, explain the order of execution of annotation. Always annotation before suite, annotation after test, annotation after class, annotation after method. Sorry. Before test, before class, before method, annotation test method, annotation after method, annotation after class, annotation after test, annotation after suite. This is the order of execution of the annotations. Okay, this is all about your concept for SNG. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood? Okay, so go backside under the interview question, make a note. So mandatory questions, difference between find element and find elements. Next, difference between implicitly wait and explicitly wait. Difference between close and quit, get window, handle, and get window, handles, assert, and soft assert. Out of this, 100% 2 questions are mandatory, whichever interview you go, wherever you go. Out of this, 2 questions is mandatory. Okay, and one more mandatory question is explain locators. Explain locators, that is a mandatory question. Understood? Understood. So this completes your chapter 3. Tomorrow onwards, we will be starting with your framework, that is your project. Tomorrow we'll start up with your project. Okay, guys, there is a drive which is happening tomorrow. Because of that, tomorrow only one day, I'm going to take your class at 5 o'clock. Okay? By then your interview will be over. Okay? By then your interviews will be, people attending interview will be over by 5. So tomorrow onwards, okay, where is that? Where is that? 1 minute. Yeah, interviews will be over by 5 o'clock. So interview will be done by, okay, only for tomorrow, your class timings would be at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, I'm going to start up with introduction to your project. Tomorrow we are going to build the project structure. We are going to build the project structure. If you miss the class, you will not understand entire week. You will not understand entire week. So next Friday is your last class. Last class next Friday. If you missed tomorrow's class, you will not understand the structure. Tomorrow we are going to do the project structure. Okay. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to do the project structure. Fine. Guys, okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. What is this, Praveen? Okay, Praveen has asked one question. Who is eligible for tomorrow's drive? This was announced in the class long back. I guess maybe last month we have announced this. Who are interested for the drive? Ping me. And we have conducted a meeting also. We have conducted meeting twice. We have conducted a meeting. We took your data and tomorrow it's a drive. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
What
Yes,
Praveen, you're asking? Now, this is for experience. Except 2020, 2021, all can attend. Okay. Now you cannot attend anything. It's already data has been sent. You've got the time slots. Now you cannot extend. Now you can extend. You can attend it on next month. Okay, next month. Now look here. Look here, everyone. Look here, everyone. Tomorrow we are going to start up with project structure, and your class time is what is project, what is everything we are going to discuss tomorrow. What's the class time only for tomorrow?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. 5 to 7.
Interviews, people are attending. That is the reason 5 o'clock is the last class. Now, tell me, when is your final mock date?
Wednesday and Thursday.
Next Wednesday.
Last time 5 to 6, ma'am.
Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. And whoever takes a mock, only for them, I'm going to teach GitHub, Jenkins, resume points, sample resume, everything. Only for them. Only for them, I'm going to teach. If you're going to miss it. Are you understanding?
Ma'am, tomorrow class timing is 5 to 6, ma'am.
5 to 6. 5
Okay,
to
ma'am.
6.
Thank you.
Okay. I know. You guys have project class 6 o'clock, 6:30. You have manual class. I know. So 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Fine. Got it?
Yes,
Ma'am.
Okay. So,
Yes.
but guys, see, I've told you yesterday also. Everybody in my class should attend final mock. Okay. At least learn these 5 questions. Can't you learn these 5 questions? Because out of this 5 questions, 100% for everyone, I'm going to ask 2 questions. It can be anything. Okay. If you don't take a final mock, remember, no, I am working, I am earning, I have a job, I will not attend mock. No problem. You will not get a certificate from QSpiders. You'll get a course complete certificate. If there is no mock, they have made it very strict. Before or not, it was not that strict. They have made it very strict. I have a job. I don't want any job from QSpiders. I have a good salary. Okay, no problem. But still, take a mock. Get 2, no problem. At least you'll get a certificate. No mock rating, no requirement. People having a job, no mock rating, no certificate. Simple. Come 10 minutes, take mock and leave the class. Can't you learn 5 questions and come? At least, I'm telling at least. Okay. So Wednesday, Thursday for the mock. Who are getting a good ratings, you'll get a requirements. Okay, I'm already pushing, I'm giving you requirements. But once after mock only, they will give you more priority for you guys, more priority. So Wednesday, few people can prepare and join. Thursday, and everybody please don't join on Thursday. No. Class strength is 120, 60 people should join on Wednesday, 60 people on Thursday. Okay. Guys, you guys are free in the morning? Are you guys free in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we will segregate. If you're free in the morning, I will also see my time slots, and we will take morning and evening, because evening at a time I cannot take your class at the 4 to 6. We will see. We will plan accordingly. Okay, prepare on Wednesday, Thursday for your final mock. Who takes the mock? I'm going to take GitHub, Jenkins, revision, everything. everything. Okay. So we will try to finish all the things by Friday or not Monday. Monday would be our last class. Not this Friday, coming Friday. Okay. Coming Friday. Okay. Maybe we'll see if I get time. I'll take it on Saturday. Maybe your last class will be 20th or 22nd. 20th or 22nd. By then, I'm going to complete. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Go and sit and study for your interview. All the best. Okay. Bye. And interview people who are attending tomorrow, assert and soft assert is mandatory. Learn those differences and learn all the test NG concepts. I have done revision as well. Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
They're not going to ask SQL questions, right, ma'am?
1 minute. Hold on. Okay. So people who have understood today's concept, all the best. Go prepare well. SQL not completed also fine. Any question asked on SQL, you tell SQL is not completed. That's all. Any question they've asked, you tell SQL is not completed. Fine. Okay. Other people who have questions and doubts, stay back. Others, thank you. Bye-bye. Let's catch up tomorrow. Others can left.